Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here real quick and share with you all what I got going on my grow rack right now. So why don't we get into it? Okay guys, let's see what we got going on our first shelf here. It's mainly peppers and eggplants. So there's one tray of peppers. Not doing too bad. The habananas, for whatever reason, they keep puckering like this. From they were little, they would just keep puckering like that, but I don't know. They're alive, so that's my first tray of peppers. Here's my second one. I have a few more in here that are trying to flower. But here's my second tray of peppers, doing pretty well. And my third tray of peppers, eggplants. I have some lemongrass growing over here. This first one, I dropped it, like straight up dropped it when it was little. So there's a lot of browning tips and some broken pieces. The one back there is in its full glory, but it's still gonna be fine. Moving down to the second shelf, I have a little coneflower right here, some extras back here, and by extras I mean some cold weather stuff that I just haven't put out yet. The chamomile, which I think I started it too late. They're really tiny. Some Purple Lady Bok Choy, some strawberries from Proven Winners that I don't think I'm going to get any from this year, again because I started it pretty late. And here we have some, what is this, squash and melon that I started not too long ago that already seem to want to drop their cotyledon leaves, but they're doing all right. Down here we have some craziness coming up, but I guess you'll see it in a little bit. Right here we got some zinnias, tray of zinnias, nasturtium, got some marigolds, some tomatoes back there, and some basil, a dark opal basil I think it is. Yeah, the dark opal basil. Over here we have some more tomatoes looking very nice, more dark opal basil, some younger tomatoes, some tomatillos, ground cherries, things like that. On the next shelf is where it starts to get a little hectic. Some tomatillos that are hitting the roof, some dill, some more tomatoes that aren't doing as hot, and back there are daisies. Over here are cucamelons that need somewhere to go. When I was reading up on these, I kept on seeing information that it takes a while to germinate, they're slow going. I started these on March 20th. It's been about 3 weeks. They want to climb my shelf. So what I did was I just provided them some string to climb up, and hopefully when it's time to transplant these, I could just take that string, tie it to the trellis, and let them have at it. But yes, this tray is kind of stuck here now because of the cucamelons, but back there again are cucumbers, which another thing I probably should have just direct seeded, but hey, I have learned. And further in the back is Chinese multicolored spinach, and then just behind that is callaloo, green amaranth. In this tray here we have some Genovese basil. It's just basil on basil on basil in this tray. Some basil, more nasturtium, different kinds of basil, lemon basil, lime basil, some lemongrass that I started. We're going to ignore the tray to the left of this one real quick and just drop down briefly to the last shelf where I have tons of celery, and we have some more little things here that need to be potted up. I think there's some cosmos in the back, Chinese wallflower, some sorrel. Cannot remember what is back there. Okay, yeah, some straw flower and some African daisies all the way in the back. Still very small, so I need to get those. Some random peppers that I ended up starting late, and I think back there is some tiny lavender seeds, which again I started late. We're gonna ignore this tray as well and come back to it. Oh, I don't know what to do with this. It's getting a little too big for its britches. It's about, the shoot is about 1.5 feet tall at this point. So I'm going to have to replant these and put them inside. Or should I say replant them and keep them inside, because I don't know what else to do with them. I didn't realize that they were going to grow that fast as soon as they got up and running. They took about 25 days to sprout for me, but once they started sprouting, nothing stopped them. And the sprouts all came up at different times. So as soon as it started sprouting, they're off. Now, let's take a look at what I am calling my tray of shame. These are all my tomatoes. Yes. I started these tomatoes March 20th? Yeah, March 20th. I started these tomatoes, right? The same day that I started these tomatoes. And these tomatoes, albeit these don't look that great, but hey, at least they have some size to them. And started them the same day I started those tomatoes back there. So why is it these tomatoes decided to just give up? I have no idea. Look at it. It's kind of horrifying. Look at this one. It just completely gave up. So part of me wants to leave it and see what will come of this. It is really bad. Wow, it's really bad. Part of me wants to leave it and see what will come of this tray. But the other part of me is saying, I need this space. This is potentially a huge waste of space, especially when I have some callaloo, amaranth in the back there that really needs to separate. I can use this space. I could use this tray. I could use these containers since I'm actually all out. Everything is accounted for at the moment. As you can see, I started using yogurt cups and plastic cups and so on and so forth. So I started another tray of tomatoes down here, which they're just coming up. I started these a couple of days ago once I realized, let's see, the date, 4/8. Started these a couple of days ago. So nothing much going on yet. You know, they're just starting to come up. So we will see where it goes. I don't know what's gonna come of this. Did I start them too late? And actually, you could say that I succession sowed my tomatoes. Effectively, I succession sowed them because I have a set of tomatoes in here. I have some black Krim tomatoes, some tiny Tim tomatoes. I think I have some German pink. So I do have tomatoes. So we'll see what comes of this second tray. And I'll keep you guys posted. So yeah, that's what I got going on right now. I'm happy with most everything. Obviously not the tray of tomatoes that I just completely messed up, but it is what it is. If I need to pick up some more starts, I'll just pick up some more starts. It just kind of bites to know that I'm 6 weeks behind on my tomatoes. I really just wanted to start all of them from seed this year because there are a couple of varieties that I thought were really cool. So hopefully the tray that I started on the 8th, I think it's the 8th, whatever, hopefully the tray that I started will catch up, and I'll still be able to at least taste some of those tomatoes this season. But yeah, other than that, everything is looking good. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.